This burned-out Wendy's restaurant, recently a flashpoint in racial violence in the U.S., has been staked out for weeks by demonstrators. It was here that a white Atlanta police officer shot and killed Rayshard Brooks, an African American. After weeks of violence, the governor summoned 1,000 U.S. National Guard troops to keep a lid on the tense situation. At 6'8", George Lynch's athletic talents opened a lot of doors for him, a former first-round draft pick in the National Basketball Association.
Coming through, you always saw that the opportunities that blacks had in Atlanta, own businesses, successful.
Atlanta has long billed itself as the city too busy to hate, and city leaders have embraced affluent African Americans, entrepreneurs, and celebrities. But the recent chaos and violence has exposed another side to the city, a growing disparity between the haves and the have-nots.
On one hand, for affluent African Americans, it's the Black Mecca. On the other hand, for the African Americans that were left behind, it's a nightmare.
Violence boiled over in the streets following the killing in Minneapolis, Minnesota of George Floyd. Among those raising his voice, urging peaceful demonstrations, Atlanta rapper and son of a police officer, Killer Mike.
And now is the time to plot, plan, strategize, organize, and mobilize.
And I think he needs to come outside of the elite bubble.
While many commended the rapper, attorney Gerald Griggs with the Atlanta NAACP says a lot of wealthy blacks have lost touch with those in need, and now is a time for change.
And talk with the people that feel oppressed by law enforcement, by economic situations that are happening in this city, and by the growing gentrification that is erasing the black progress that was made.
Atlanta is also the home of civil rights leader, the late Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., a proponent of nonviolent resistance. But as whites move back to the city, property rates escalate. The latest available statistics show median household wealth for white families is at least 10 times higher than for black families.
The young people that are in the streets that are galvanized, they're not just fighting about police brutality, they're fighting oppression on all levels, and they're getting their voices heard.
It's a people's victory.
It was those voices, he says, that helped bring down a 10-meter-high Confederate monument in the Atlanta suburb of Decatur in late June, after years of trying.
And we're going to take those monuments down so the next generation does not have to be terrorized by memory of a far-gone era that was never great.
For our younger kids, we need people like back in the civil rights to step up and be a voice for us and show us how to do it right.
Lynch is currently raising money to buy students at historically black colleges and universities laptops, tablets, and Wi-Fi equipment for their homes. Many students just don't have them. That is especially important since COVID may force college kids to study online at home this fall.
We should be able to do more, minimum wage, housing, proper schooling. It gives the younger generation something to look forward to other than being an athlete or a rapper.
Or a statistic. Sean Calebs, CGTN, Atlanta, Georgia.